Hello and welcome. This is Notibot ENG. In the Middle East, tensions continue to simmer as the Iran crisis deepens. U.S. President Donald Trump has made a surprising claim about Iran's nuclear program, while the war in Yemen rages on. Additionally, a fragile truce between Israel and Lebanon is being put to the test. We'll bring you the latest developments, including the latest on the Strait of Hormuz and the escalating U.S.-Iran conflict. Let's dive into the top news stories from the region. According to reports from the Middle East, a significant development is unfolding in the ongoing tensions between the United States and Iran. President Donald Trump said Iran has agreed to suspend its nuclear program indefinitely, according to the U.S. president. This announcement comes as Tehran announced the Strait of Hormuz was open again, fueling optimism that a deal to end their war is in reach. Earlier today, the Iranian government confirmed that the strategic waterway, which is a vital shipping route between the U.S. and Europe, was open for business. This development has been hailed as a positive sign in the ongoing conflict between the U.S. and Iran. The announcement is believed to have been made in response to a series of U.S. sanctions that were imposed on Iran by the Trump administration. The sanctions, which include restrictions on the country's oil exports and access to international financial markets, have been a major point of contention in the ongoing conflict. According to the U.S. president, Iran has agreed to suspend its nuclear program indefinitely as part of a broader deal to end their war. The agreement, which is reportedly still being negotiated, would see Iran limit its nuclear capabilities and refrain from further aggression in the region. The development has sparked hope that a deal can be reached between the U.S. and Iran, and that the conflict can be brought to an end. However, the agreement is still in its early stages, and it remains to be seen whether it can be finalized. The U.S. and Iranian governments are set to meet in the coming days to finalize the terms of the agreement. In a surprising shift, the Middle East is witnessing a delicate dance of diplomacy as two countries find common ground in a fragile peace process. Gavin Lee, we're coming to you live from the Middle East, where a complex web of diplomatic efforts is unfolding. A ceasefire in the Strait of Hormuz has brought the United States and Iran to the negotiating table, with a potential deal on the horizon. However, in a surprising twist, Lebanon and Israel have also signed a ceasefire agreement. Robert B. Murrett, this development is significant, as it marks a rare instance of Lebanon and Israel engaging in peace talks. The agreement, brokered by France, brings an end to months of escalating tensions between the two nations. I'd argue that this development is a step up for Lebanon, as it demonstrates a commitment to regional stability and security. Gavin Lee, the Iran-US deal, however, is a much more high-stakes affair. The two nations have been locked in a diplomatic stalemate for months, with the U.S. seeking to re-establish the terms of the 2015 nuclear deal. The Iranian government, meanwhile, has been pushing for greater concessions from the U.S. Robert B. Murrett, the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial waterway for global energy supplies, has become a focal point for tensions between the two nations. A naval incident between the U.S. and Iran in July raised concerns about a potential war. The potential deal, however, would mitigate those risks and stabilize the region. As we wait for further developments, it's essential to consider the broader implications of this agreement and how it may impact regional dynamics. As the international community continues to reel from the escalating tensions, let's take a closer look at the latest developments in the ongoing conflict between the U.S. and Iran. We're approaching 50 days since the U.S.-Iran conflict escalated, and tensions around the Strait of Hormuz remain at a boiling point. The Iranian government has decided to reopen the strategic waterway, but with conditions. According to Abbas Araghchi, Iran's foreign minister, the Strait of Hormuz remains open to commercial vessels, but subject to conditions and previously coordinated maritime routes. This move is seen as a response to the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, which Iran considers an act of aggression. The U.S. has maintained its blockade, and President Donald Trump has insisted it will remain in place until any agreement is 100% complete. However, this stance has been met with pushback from Iranian officials, who claim there are still sticking points to be resolved in negotiations. The contradictions in messaging from both sides highlight the deep divisions between the two countries. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical waterway, and its closure would have severe economic implications for the global economy. The U.S. and its allies rely on the strait for their oil supplies, and any disruption would send shockwaves around the world. The situation is further complicated by the involvement of other regional players, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, which have expressed concerns about the escalating tensions. With no clear resolution in sight, the situation remains on high alert, and the world waits with bated breath to see how this crisis unfolds. As tensions between Iran and the U.S. continue to simmer, a key figure has spoken out about the strait that's become a major flashpoint. Good evening. I'm your name, and this is a news recap. We have a developing story coming out of the Middle East where tensions between Iran and the U.S. have been escalating. Recently, Iran's Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, announced that the Strait of Hormuz is now fully open to commercial vessels, a major development in the region. This news has sent shockwaves around the world, with oil prices plummeting as a result. But the announcement was quickly followed by a statement from U.S. President Donald Trump, who claimed that Iran had agreed to never close the strait again. Trump took to social media to hail what he called a great and brilliant day for the world. However, not everyone is celebrating. Iran's parliamentary speaker, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, has warned that if the U.S. blockade continues, the Strait of Hormuz will not remain open. The U.S. blockade has been in place since 2019, when Trump imposed sanctions on Iran in response to the country's nuclear program. The blockade has had a significant impact on Iran's economy and has been a major point of contention between the two nations. With talks over a deal to end the war in the Middle East reportedly set to take place this weekend, the situation remains volatile. The U.S. president also announced that Washington would work with Iran to recover its enriched uranium, which he referred to as nuclear dust that would be retrieved at a nice leisurely pace and moved to the U.S. As tensions in the Middle East continue to simmer, Iran has issued a statement about the Strait of Hormuz, a critical waterway in the region. A significant development has unfolded in the Middle East as tensions between Iran and the United States continue to escalate. Iran's Foreign Minister, Abbas Araghchi, announced that the Strait of Hormuz, a crucial oil shipping channel, is now open for commercial vessels. However, Araghchi emphasized that ships must use designated safe lanes, indicating that Iran is still exercising caution and control over the waterway. This announcement comes as a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, brokered by Iran, is set to expire on April 22nd. Iran has effectively blocked the Strait of Hormuz since the U.S. and Israel attacked the country on February 28th, citing concerns over national security. The U.S., under President Donald Trump, has maintained a naval blockade of Iranian ports, with Trump stating that it would continue until a peace deal is reached between the two countries. The announcement by Araghchi has been met with skepticism, with some Iranian news outlets criticizing the foreign minister's post, calling it bad and incomplete. The Iranian parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, has also weighed in, stating that Trump made 7 claims in 1 hour, which are void if the U.S. naval blockade continues. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point for global oil supplies, with over 20% of the world's oil passing through the waterway. A return to normal shipping operations would have significant economic implications, but the lack of clarity surrounding Iran's intentions raises concerns about the stability of the region. As the ceasefire with Lebanon expires, the situation in the Strait of Hormuz remains fluid, with maritime groups still verifying the safety of vessels to travel through the strait. In conclusion, we've brought you the latest developments from the Middle East. We'll continue to monitor and report on these stories as they unfold. Thank you for watching. Don't miss our in-depth analysis and breaking news updates. Subscribe to our channel for the latest news and stay informed. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, good night and goodbye.